What is popping, guys, and welcome back to another tattoo tips video. Today's video is gonna be 5 mistakes that lead to a bad tattoo. Let's go. As always, before we start this video, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and do not forget to like this video, comment on this video, and turn on the bell notifications to get notified every time I upload a new video. Because when I upload a new video, it's a good day. Also, if you are wanting any extra added benefits, I do have a Patreon link in the description, which you can go and have a look at and pick a tier that best suits your needs. Right, 5 mistakes, starting with number 1. Number 1 would be stretching. Stretching when it comes to tattooing is an absolute fundamental. I've said this a billion times on the channel by now. It is one of the most important fundamentals that a tattooist needs to have. Stretching will give you a better tattoo. Some of you may be doing lines and you might find that your lines aren't going in correctly and it's taking multiple passes for you to actually get those lines in. Some of you might find that when you are packing black, it's just so inconsistent. And that is because you are not stretching the skin good enough. You need a great stretch to get a great line. You need a great stretch to get great packed black or even color. So we all know that the industry standard would be like a 3-point stretch. However, just get a stretch, just a good stretch on the skin. However you stretch the skin, it doesn't matter, but just get a good stretch. And I promise you, if you are struggling with lines and packing, you will find it a lot easier. My number 2 on 5 mistakes that leads to a bad tattoo would be contrast, especially if you are doing black and grey, but that also does relate to colour quite well. Contrast in a piece is what will hold up your piece over time. But not only that, it will also aid in making your completed tattoo on the day look a billion times better than it would if you had 0 contrast in it and you are using flat images. So use those images that have got a nice balance of light and dark. Sometimes you could design a tattoo, and when you come to designing that tattoo, you are not designing for the placement of where that tattoo is going. So you may end up putting straight lines on a wonky part of the body, which is gonna make those straight lines wonky. It's as simple as that. You may do a portrait, for example, and then the portrait wraps a little bit too much over an arm and it distorts the face, it pulls the face out a little bit. And no matter what you do to make that face look as best as you can, even if you followed your stencil down to an absolute T, that placement was wrong from the start. So your tattoo is not going to look good. It just isn't. It's going to look off. It's going to look warped. Tip numero 4 would be your mindset. If you are not asked to do the tattoo, you are not feeling that tattoo, your tattoo is going to look like shit. Maybe the client that has come to you for that tattoo just will not budge, that will not let you have any artistic input to make their tattoo look better. And you just think, what's the point? In those cases, I would always recommend not doing the tattoo. Always remember that everybody remembers a bad tattoo, but nobody remembers the good ones. So it doesn't matter how many good tattoos you do, you will always be remembered for that bad one. Now finally, on to the last tip. Tip number 5 would be tiredness. Yep, tiredness. Sometimes on long sessions, you can start out with incredibly good intentions and you put everything that you have into the tattoo, into the start of the tattoo. But as the day goes on, you start getting more and more tired. You start getting like a mental fatigue. That is when you can start to let slip on those pieces that you are doing. It doesn't matter what piece it is, any single piece. If your pieces start going into the longer hours, that mental fatigue is gonna kick in and you are going to start making mistakes. So I always recommend that when you are in those longer hours, having more breaks. Just stand up, have a stretch, go to the toilet, go get a drink, just something to get up and, you know, give your mind that little break that it needs. A top tip that I like to do when I start getting tired is I change up my music. What I like to do is I like to put on something with a beat because that uplifts you and then it gives you that extra little bit of a push that you need to complete that tattoo to the standard that you was doing earlier on in the day. Now surely you didn't think I was just gonna stop at 5, did you? Bonus tip number 1 would be to stop being lazy. Whoa, that was incredibly aggressive, weren't it? That was so aggressive. My bad. The tattoo that you are doing could be better. It's as simple as that. It could be better. So when you have done your tattoo, or while you are in the process of doing your tattoo, it is easy to be, that looks fine. Yep, I'm happy with that, that looks fine. But you need to be thinking about what could take it from fine to outstanding. For example, I did a spider web on a hand a few weeks ago. It was on a Spider-Man sleeve that I'm doing. And I spent so long making sure that every single strand of web was all neat. What you tend to find is people having good intentions, they'll make it neat, and then as they go further up, they get fed up and they get lazy and they stop making it neat. Spend the time tightening things up, making sure it is consistent throughout. Bonus tip number 2 would be to understand the type of skin that you are working on. Some people have old skin, some people have young skin, some people have tough skin that's like tattooing plastic, some people have male skin, some people have female skin, some people have sensitive skin, some people have rough skin, depending on what they do. Like a woman's hand is completely different to a male's hand. So understand the type of skin that you are working on and adjust accordingly to that type of skin. If that skin is buttery smooth and your tattoo is just going absolutely perfect, then that's fine. But when you get to a point where you are working on somebody who has just not exposed their skin to the sun for 10 years, it's just horrible. It's a completely different ball game. So make sure you understand the type of skin that you are working on and adjust accordingly. But guys, that is all for today. My battery is about to go, so I need to get off. If you are new around here, do not forget to subscribe and do not forget to check out the tattoo.